Welcome to Game and Grain. I'm your player one, Richard, and today we're going to take a look at Penelope's Cigar Sessions Chapter 1. So grab those controllers, pour yourself a dram, and let's get into it. This is your whiskey walkthrough. Now, before we can give ourselves a pour, of course we have to unpack this bottle. The Penelope Cigar Sessions Chapter 1 was distilled at MGP and bottled by Penelope Bourbon Bottling. It has a mash bill of 72% corn, 15% rye, and 13% malted barley. It has an age statement of 6 years and comes in at 101 proof. Now that we've unpacked the bottle, let's get into it. Our whiskey walkthroughs are going to actually look a little bit different than they have before. Rather than assigning numerical values to appearance, nose, taste, and finish, we're just going to give you my thoughts. At the end, we will still take in everything into consideration to determine, was this worthy of purchase or should I left it sitting on the shelf? So, first on the appearance. Now this is a 6-year blended whiskey. It does have a little light color to it. But the legs are starting to, or the whiskey is starting to grab onto the glass, and I am seeing legs slowly creep down the side. So we're off to a good start. Again, with that 6-year age statement, I would like to see something a little bit darker, but it is a blend, so it probably has some lighter whiskey to it. So on the nose. Now, of course, with some of these whiskeys or whiskey walkthroughs that I've done before, I do tend to take some information from the website to help me pinpoint the different flavors that I am tasting. According to the website, on the nose, I should be smelling milk chocolate, vanilla, and candied apple. I'm really excited about the potential of milk chocolate. I'm wondering if that is coming from that malted barley. It does say that it is a blend of straight bourbon whiskey, American single malt, and American light whiskey. So that American single malt tends to lean a little heavy on the chocolate. So hopefully we'll pick that up. So the candied apple, or some sort of light fruit, what I would think of as like an apple, Granny Smith apple, something like that. It is very present. I am getting some of the sweetness there. Just a hint of that milk chocolate. It isn't something that is overpowering or overbearing, but it is there, but just faintly. So we're going to go ahead, before we move into the palate, just a little backstory on this. I was not a big fan of cigar batches, not because I had ever tried one and had a horrible experience, but just out of fear, because cigars, my brain immediately went into, this is something that's going to taste super smoky and gross. Come to find out, these are actually meant to accompany a cigar. So they tend to lean more on the sweeter side, which is right up my alley. So having found that, now I love searching for cigar blends. So we're going to go ahead and get in on the taste before I continue on with my little diatribe or story. So it says chocolate, dried peach, tobacco, and warm caramel are some of the notes that I should be tasting. So we're going to see if we can pick those up. Cheers. So the sweetness is present. Again, it is faint. The flavor is not overpowering. I'm not getting any of the chocolate, at least not immediately. I am getting some sort of dried fruit, which of course this says it's going to be a dried peach. That note is there. We'll go in for another sip and see if I can pick out some of those other flavors. Going back in on the nose real quick, that chocolate is a little bit more prominent, but again, not overbearing on the nose. All right, something else is there that I'm picking up. Again, of course, it's not the chocolate. I'm wondering if that's that tobacco note that it is saying that I should be picking up. I will go ahead and admit I am not a whiskey sommelier like some of my friends and fellow YouTubers. I just enjoy whiskey and do my best to try to pick out different notes. So we're going to assume that that other flavor that I'm picking up, which does not taste sweet or fruity, is probably that tobacco. Once I found out that Penelope was releasing this Cigar Sessions Chapter 1, I immediately started looking for it. I believe, released around May of this year. My area, we tend to be a couple months behind whenever new releases hit the market. So right around June or July is when I was able to pick up this bottle. I scoured the stores. I'm pretty sure I made a lot of liquor store employees mad from constantly calling and questioning them, but just so happened to fall into this one. I think I paid around $90 to $95 for the bottle, and was extremely excited to have it. So, and now glad to share it with you. So we're going to go ahead and move into the finish. Now, of course, I should have shared some of the information from the website. It says on the finish, toffee, dark fruit, and light oak. So one of the things that I did realize as I took a sip is it almost skips over the front of my palate and moves to the medium or middle. There is some kind of like drying factor there. So I'm assuming that that is going to be the light oak. There are some other flavors that are present, but it's not anything, again, that's overpowering. With a proof of 101, I would expect to have a little bit more flavor than what I'm getting, but there's not one thing that's really shining more through than the other. We'll go on the finish one more time. The flavors are starting to dissipate, so not a really long finish that I would hope for. Some of these other cigar blends that I've had tend to have a little bit longer finish, but we'll go in one more time. So that one's a little bit sweeter. I wouldn't say toffee, but maybe some of the dark fruit is there. It is still lingering. It's really strange because it does feel like it's skipping the front of my tongue and just immediately moving to the mid part of my tongue and back. All right, so would I purchase this again? For the price point of $95, 6 years, it is a blend of American single malt, American light whiskey, and straight bourbon. I think for having the first chapter, I would purchase this again. Now, for the price point, probably not. I've had some higher proof, more flavorful cigar blends than this guy. Is it nice to own? Yes. Will I be sharing this with friends? Of course. I got a couple of people that I'll be sending some samples to. I just wish this one, at least for the flavor profile and the price point, it was a little bit cheaper. But I think, of course, I am happy with this purchase because it is the first of hopefully many. In the future, I would like to see a higher proof point, maybe some more blends there, to hopefully have a different flavor profile, a more potent flavor profile. All right, guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure that you give us a like in the comments. I want to know, what is your favorite cigar blended whiskey? I'll go ahead and let you know mine, at least as of right now, is this guy. We're going to do a review of him really soon. He has a really cool story. If you haven't already, please make sure that you subscribe to this channel so you can be caught up on all of the neat things that I put out. As always, I'm your favorite player one, Richard from Game and Grain. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Have a good one.